What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling motivated today, there, Cancer, and really every day, but especially today. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Stuff has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Saturn, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon, who I have not seen in days, Cancer. It's been cloudy over here, and I've definitely been feeling her. That's for sure. The cloud coverage not obscured the emotions. But I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void. Of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. Yes, sidebar, Cancer, I had a really kind of tough time with the moon in Scorpio. A lot of intense stuff kind of came up, which, I mean, it makes sense. And even though the moon's doing some love-forming trines with my Cancer placements, she's forming squares with all of my Leo placements, and that's always a treat. But that's neither here nor there, Cancer. But I will, this is what happens when I go off script. And Cancer, just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Alright, Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Moon Day. The moon is associated with Mondays. Hopefully you had a great weekend there, Cancer. Hope you had really enjoyed the energies there. But moon days are really great for tuning into your emotions, Cancer. This is a great time to, if you have this available, to kind of be at home, you know, to be comfortable, to not just tune into the being aware of your physical space, as well as being aware of just your physical space, but also, you know, this vessel as well there, Cancer. How's the house for your soul holding up? The moon days, I feel, are really great to tune in with the emotions, to kind of see, you know, it's always interesting, you know, when we start off like the work week with Mondays, and like everyone's just like, oh, Mondays. Just like, really, I think it would make more sense to start them on Tuesday, since Mars is a day of action. But you know, if this isn't something where you can get that day off there, Cancer, this is just something to stay present with your emotions, you know, to be kind with yourself, be compassionate, and to be understanding towards others as well. We're all going through that fluctuation, and it's different when you're going about it unaware. It can seem like things are happening, but when you're tuning into a bit more, you become more proactive throughout your journey there, Cancer. So definitely kind of tune in to yourself, take care of your needs, and find some time for some nurture, some self-care, as that makes sense there, Cancer. And also too, I love that I feel like the moon days have been very big for lunar shenanigans, because we have our next kind of big kind of key phase here, Cancer, in the lunar cycle. We are in, oh, and Cancer, also, depending on if you, I don't really, do we celebrate this? Whatever. Happy April Fool's Day. Oh, and Cancer. Oh, crap. I'm just realizing, too, Cancer, Mercury retrograde's on. in all that gained energy, Cancer. Happy Mercury retrograde. This is, and I do say that, happy Mercury retrograde, because this is a time for reflection. I do love how all this energy is coming to the Cancer, because this is a big, I feel like, day for reflection, you know, kind of kicking off this retrograde, because the moon is in a last quarter phase as well in Capricorn, Cancer, and she'll be hitting that square will be hitting its exact degree at 12 degrees and 52 minutes. The sun will be in Aries, the moon will be in Capricorn at 8:15 p.m. and that'll be Pacific time, Cancer. Now with the last quarter moon phase, ooh, interesting, Cancer. Thank you, higher self. Yeah, we had this energy before. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the last quarter moon phase, Cancer, is a time of cleansing. It's a time for letting go and for making space and clearing out any sort of emotional or physical clutter in, just in general there, Cancer, especially with us coming up, because we have a really big next a week from today, on the first, whenever you're watching this, we're going to be coming up on this new supermoon solar eclipse that's going to be happening in Aries. This is going to be a big deal, Cancer. And when I say a big deal, I mean big for you and wherever you're at on your journey. This doesn't mean that we have to be setting off on, I need to go to space, I need to become president, I need to become CEO, I need to... No, Cancer, this could just be, I think I'm going to get that garden started up that I've been talking about for years. I think I'm going to finally commit to this workout routine. I think I'm going to get into meditation. I think I'm going to write that book. I think I'm going to start taking steps to become a parent. This is a lot of big stuff that's coming there in this last quarter moon in Capricorn. And I like this too, because when you think about this square, the sun is in Aries, so the sun is figuring, he's strong here. This is a strong sense of identity, trying to figure out who you are and going for it bravely. But I feel where the dissonance is happening with the moon being in Capricorn is that in order to get to this thing that you're trying to go, Cancer, the moon is like, hey, we need to take some time. We need to do some inventory and see what is preventing us from embodying this goal. Capricorn is the devil in tarot. And the devil is the things that get in the way of our growth, whether this be certain vices, maybe this is relationships, maybe this is environments, maybe this is esteem, but it's looking at the things that do keep us from coming into our power and being in. I feel like the moon is trying to show where, hey, we need to be a little bit more disciplined in this aspect. We may need to take some time alone, because Capricorn is not that Capricorn, is where you're being, where the Capricorn energy is meant to be just by themselves. But Capricorn energy does need time for solitude, in time away from others to find out who you want to be, not who others think you are, because Capricorn is associated with the 10th house, which is how people see us before they meet us. It's that public perception. Usually can be tied in with our careers as well. That's just kind of become hand in hand. But this is, I feel, a time where, again, doing some real deep emotional work as far as like what is getting in the way of you getting towards your goals. What are some things that we have some deep emotional attachments to, where we can, in bringing, I feel like some unconscious, subconscious things, and again, to your subconscious, because when this is happening with the moon forming a square with the sun, she's also forming a square with Chiron, who's in Aries as well. And there could be maybe some, Chiron is where we have our wound, where we have a deep wound, where we need to constantly take care of ourselves. This could, like, for example, my Chiron is in the 12th house in Cancer. So I'm here to, or at least the wound that I'm working on is one of a more kind of unconscious, subconscious wound, something here to really kind of heal that relationship with source, and it's interesting too, because my sun is opposed, my Neptune is opposed Neptune in the, my sun's in the 12th house too. Is fascinating. But I'm here to heal that side of me through my emotions, find out where what areas I need to let go, that I need to transcend in order to get to my highest vibration. And it's just learning through those emotional needs in things. So this could be where you may need to look and see where your Chiron placement is at. Where are some things that you've been, this could be from childhood wounds. This could be wherever this could, manifest. I feel like it's there's that side of you. It's, and again, it's like, it's just like thinking with the devil. These sort of like habits or things that are like escapisms or things that tend to keep us down. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not the ego wanting to go against you. It's trying to keep you safe, keep you in a comfort zone so that because the ego feels in danger. I don't know, like it's very interesting what I'm getting with this moon and square Chiron energy. But the nice thing, Cancer, though, is in with all this pressure emotionally, the things that may come up, Saturn is supporting the moon in this. Saturn's supporting the work that the moon is putting in and the work that you do put in, because she's forming a sextile with Saturn in Pisces. And the lovely thing about this too is that the moon is in the sign that Saturn has guardianship over. So I feel this moon and this energy here, if we can sit with those things that tend to get in our way, Cancer, that the areas where we've given up our power to, that we felt like we could never heal from, that we can never process. Chiron is the wound that you never truly heal, but that's not to discourage you. It's just like if you broke your arm, you're just not going to stop using your arm again. You may have to use it differently than you did before, but you learn how to tend to your needs in a different way. You start seeing things, you start becoming more mindful, more conscious, showing up a bit different, being a bit more intentional. And that's what Chiron, I feel, it's like this, I don't know, I'm getting like a trial and error with this energy too here. It's a lot coming through here with this last quarter phase that we may be kind of processing. But the Saturn, the moon sextile Saturn, I feel, is supporting that image that you're trying to create. But it is understanding, too, that there's work that's needing to be done. And the sextile energy may not be like that big win, Cancer, but I feel like it'll be that sort of like emotional satisfaction that I showed up for myself, that I'm taking the steps towards this thing, and that I'm being compassionate on my journey. Just noticing these trends as well. And I feel like it's like this is going to be over time. I don't know, Cancer, it's just like this can be a very kind of uplifting one that can get us towards this new moon solar eclipse and get you seeing yourself in a different type of way. So, and this is some energy too there, Cancer. I think I'm going to move on from that. I hope that made sense. But this can be where, if you're curious about how these energies are working with your chart, more specifically, seeing where these aspects are happening in your houses, where the focuses may be at. This could be working with your solar return chart, seeing what are some intentions for the year. Actually, Cancer, speaking of this full moon, new supermoon eclipse that's happening, in my solar return chart, where this degree is happening, it's going to be conjunct my Chiron placement. So this is one, just for an example of how you can set intentions. I plan on taking some space, and again, I was noticing some stuff during the moon in Scorpio that I wanted to take into this new moon super eclipse. Some areas where I find that I tend to escape, but that don't quite fit the vibe anymore. And so this is going to be one where I'm thinking about, and it's interesting because my Chiron's in the 12th house. It's very fascinating, in the 12th house during my solar return. So it's this energy I'm familiar with, but being in Aries, this is me taking this brave step to trust in the process a bit more, to how am I going to set this in, it's very interesting when you get into this energy. So yeah, book a reading with me. I have links down in the description box below with the services that I offer. We can work with this, get like a game plan and how we can work through your energies a bit more. What are some emotional things that may come up for you? Because again, especially if your rising sign is in Cancer, the moon plays a really big factor in how your chart is being expressed. I actually just talked with someone. They just had a baby. Their son's in Scorpio. Their son is, or their their rising signs in Cancer. So that was something that I mentioned for you, getting out beneath the moon, following those energies and things. So when you are aware of these energies there, Cancer, you can just show up for yourself in a very just different and stronger type of way. So just something to think about there, Cancer. And then last few things, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I really enjoy their Cancer, so definitely check them out. They're a very fantastic group. I think you would really enjoy them. There's a link for an astrologer that I like as well, some podcasts, all types of goodies down there, Cancer, so definitely avail yourself of all those tools down there. But let's get into your general energy of the day there, Cancer, because we just had this one not too long ago. And we have that dragonfly spirit here, which is truth transcends illusion. And I feel with this energy, Cancer, you know, I feel that this one is a kind of inviting you to see where I feel like you may have thought that you were going to go. Maybe you had this dream. And I like that we're kind of talking about this energy too, with Saturn being here again, who's in Pisces. And a big energy of can deal with illusions. I feel that one, this is looking at how you've been seeing yourself up until now and the energy that you've been operating in. Is that true to who you are, or is this an illusion that has been created from, again, from maybe childhood? This could be maybe an illusion that we've been fed by society, by friends, by our partners, by whatever this is looking like. And then really kind of asking yourself, is this who I am? You know, do these things really resonate me, or does something feel off? And that's a really big thing, Cancer. How you feel, I feel like more than any sign, you know, where especially if Cancer in your big three, how you feel, your sun, moon, and rising sign is a big deal. And pay attention, because I feel like this is something, again, that takes time, you know, when we're going through this growth. This is not going to be something that's going to be rapid, but pay attention to how, I just feel like there's this question to be more inquisitive with what your reality is and the things that we're building upon, and is this who you truly are? Now there's another energy here that maybe for some we don't believe that you can manifest something. You have this dream, but it just doesn't seem tangible, or just it seems out of reach. And there's this, I feel like there's something here that it's giving yourself more credit, that your dream may feel like an illusion, and it is, until you've grounded it, until you've made it real. And that's what Saturn does. And that's why I feel like Saturn and Pisces too, this is letting go of things, I feel like, of beliefs that we can do something. And it's not just, and it is transcending the illusion. It's taking that stuff out of your head and putting that out there, Cancer. And I feel even too, and I'm going to get some tarot on this, that with where these energies are going, I feel that there is this acceptance of other people's energies as well as they're figuring out their truth. I feel that this is a time where we want to be mindful. That's interesting. We want to be mindful about how we interpret someone else's truth, is what I'm getting with this. And as far as like forcing your truth onto someone, or I feel like almost even like not allowing someone to explore a different type of truth. That's very fascinating, Cancer. Let me get some tarot on this and get some details. It's like someone who's used to be maybe a doctor for the longest time, and then they decide that, you know what, I think I'm gonna become a sailor, or maybe a veterinarian, or maybe, you know, just something else. But I feel like just because they've done that thing, that doesn't mean they can't be something else. That's another energy coming through there. So thank you, higher self. But, oh, very interesting, Cancer. All right, let's get into it. So you have the Two of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Two of Moons, the Three of Wands, and the Devil card here, Cancer, Capricorn energy in reverse. And then you have the Four of Wands upright. And you know what I'm feeling with this Four of Wands here? That this is the Four of Wands for me is almost like a checkpoint type of card. This is like a rite of passage energy. You know, when you think about this, it can be like the marriage card, and marriage is like a big you know, like one of the big milestones in life. But I feel that this is like a checkpoint in seeing with, do you feel like you're on your path with the Three of Wands being here? Or do you feel kind of stuck there, Cancer? Have you reached this crossroads and you're not sure where your energies are trying to get to? I almost feel that with the Five of Swords here, there's a lot of noise that I'm getting with the Five of Swords. This is because I feel like when we're at this place of discovery, and then I feel like that's something to be mindful of too, Cancer. Wordage is very important. It's not that we're lost, is that we're on a journey of discovery. We're trying to find our truth through all this illusions here. And I feel this Five of Swords is just being mindful of the perspectives and views and things that we take on as true, and find our own sense. I feel like making your own relationship with this journey here, Cancer. There's something with the Six of Swords here that's trying to move on to something, but there is this resistance, something that we're holding on to, something that the devil is wanting you to get power over. You know, this could be maybe a certain vice. This could be maybe a relationship. Maybe this is a certain job. Maybe this is a certain friend group, family thing. But the Five of Swords, and you know, Cancer, wherever it is this, I feel like this journey is, wherever you're trying to go to, whatever, wherever it is that I feel like if this is something that's resonating with you, wherever you're trying to go. And if there's something here with the devil and the Five of Swords that I feel like it's not, I feel like there's something here about not just needing to justify what is right for you. Because it doesn't have to, I'm getting an energy of like, it's like this, two things can be true at the same time here, Cancer. You know, there may be, because the Five of Swords is Venus and Aquarius, and there may be, I'm just getting this vibe that there's something here that's no longer meshing. This could be maybe even people that were, even like things that we're watching, maybe even on like connecting with on social media. You know, it's always interesting when I hear like the term like, you know, influencers and things along those lines and how they influence the energy. And it's just like, I feel like we want to inspire, you know, the energy. I feel like that's where we're more wanting to look into. And I feel like it's looking for more things, Cancer, maybe even to that, you know, we can looking for more inspiring things. But you know, the Three of Wands, we're in a time of expansion. And again, it doesn't have to be something like super massive. You don't need to make like where you have to blow everything up and do something weird. But I feel like it's these minute changes, these little changes that equate to these bigger celebrations over the long run here, Cancer. But let's get some more energy on this. And again, Cancer, whatever it is that we're overcoming, that devil in reverse is saying that you have the power to do this, you know, and it's not easy, whatever this is that we're overcoming. You know, again, it's going to take work with this Capricorn, with Capricorn energy, but it is one, Four of Wands, we get to celebrating at the end of it, you know, towards the end of this. And It's very interesting too. It's like the Two of Moons is even less like something is just like not harmonious anymore. But let's get some more energy on this, Cancer. Take care of yourself. Ha! So Cancer. So you have one of the special major arcanas in this deck, the Wanderer, the Two of Swords, and then the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy in reverse. And then you have the Four of Swords and the Six of Stars upright. In this Six of Stars here, Cancer, I feel like this is a time to give into more of the things that give back to you. Six of Stars is a card of reciprocity, and I feel that if you've been on the fence, there's something here. It's like with the Two of Swords, it's like maybe you've been teetering as far as like, oh, I need to maybe make this shift, but something here. Because again, you know, the Temperance card, something is out of balance. And the Temperance card is the card right before the Devil. But I like that because it's very interesting, Cancer. Because this Temperance card is giving me this awareness that something is hindering the growth. And the Devil's like, it's knowing that we're needing the growth. But it's something here. It's like we need to meditate with this Two of Swords here. Or excuse me, with the Four of Swords being here, to kind of come to peace with the idea that things need to change. Because this is Jupiter in Libra, the Four of Swords. And I feel like this is thinking about how we can improve the relationships we have with things in general, you know? But this is a time I feel like to give to energies that give back to you in a positive way, Cancer, that raise your vibration, that get you where you feel more in alignment, so that you're not just in this state of wandering, you know, just feeling that you're at a loss at some. It's like I feel this wanderers like they know there's somewhere they're needing to go, but they're not sure where it is. And again, that's why I feel there's all this noise that's kind of coming through with the Five of Swords, wherever this is in this imbalance, you know. But this is one I do feel like, you know, how this person is kind of sitting here kind of alone staring at the moon. This is some solitary work. No one can force you to do anything, Cancer. This is something where you have to, especially with Aries, you know, as we're getting towards this new lunar cycle, this is going to be one where you are going to need to be your savior, Cancer, is what I'm getting with this. You know, to find yourself, to find the truth, to find the illusion, you know, to get through whatever illusion means for you. But, you know, this is something where we're going to need to ask ourselves, is this illusion worth the best way I feel like I can put it, Cancer, like, you know, when I was going through my devil moment, you know, kind of early stages of this journey, you know, I drank a lot, and there'd be times just like, gosh, I feel so depressed and I don't understand why. And I was like, I low key did, but I didn't want to face the truth. I was letting the illusion transcend the truth. And then after a while, you know, when you do get to that point where things need to shift, it's just like, oh, okay, you know, like, and it was keeping me safe for a while I was processing through things, but now it was becoming a hindrance. You know, I needed to learn something, but I also needed to learn to transcend it, you know, to get over that as well. And it's tough, Cancer, and it's an everyday thing, but I feel it's always worth it in the long run there, Cancer. But again, we've just gotten so focused on the micro that I feel like that the bigger picture has been harder to kind of grasp. But let's get some advice from Saturn, Cancer. Oh, good, Cancer. Take care of yourself. I love how you're syncing up with these energies, Cancer. Because now here's Aries. Because, you know, Sun's in Aries, Moon's in Capricorn. But you have the Hermit, Virgo energy, and the Ten of Stars in reverse. Then you have the Nine of Swords and the Emperor, Aries, upright. And let's switch back over here, Cancer. Because it's like I was saying, you know, whatever this is something where we're in big Aries energy. But the lovely thing about that, though, and I feel like this is very important to focus on, is that this is fueled by Pisces, you know, because Mars is in Pisces. You know, when this Mars is fueling, is, you know, all this eclipse energy that's going on. And this is a very intuitive one. And this lunar cycle was a time to go within, to really kind of form this, I feel like, intimate relationship with yourself, you know, and with, you know, establish this new environment to bring about, or to almost, I feel like, to bring up any sort of unconscious fears, any sort of anxieties, bring them to the forefront and meditate with the Hermit. How are we going to take action, Emperor, to get in a more kind of stable place? Ten of Stars. You know, how do we, you know, the future is changing. Your priorities, I feel, are changing with this Ten of Stars. So it's just like, how do our actions accommodate this change? Do you really feel in step with your higher self, or have we gotten off track a little bit? And this could be, or have you, you know, this could be maybe you've been making more kind of fear-based decisions. And now it's time to face those fears, Cancer, and reflect on why you may have been running, you know, with this Hermit being here, why we, you know, and then, yeah, facing this truth. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. A little something to think about. But if you like that, Cancer, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, oh, yeah, there we go. And share this thing, Cancer. If you know someone who's been maybe stuck in the illusion or stuck in this kind of escapist type of energy, and yeah, because we're getting into and again, this new eclipse is whatever is big for you, but we're getting to a time where we're needing to change and be more in charge. At least that's what I feel the energies are inviting us to do. And subscribe there, you devil. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each day. And then last little bit there, Cancer. You know, after we get done checking your chart, which again, all that information is down in the description box below, we can talk about if you, because maybe you have some points around this eclipse, maybe in your solar return, maybe in your progressed chart there, Cancer. I'm trying to think if there's anything going on in my progressed. Nothing with this eclipse. It might be. It's yeah, not quite with my progress, but in my solar return, this one's kind of a big deal. So yeah, we can find out, you know, how this energy is working for you there, and that's very interesting that this would wrap up towards the tail end. But yeah, you could get a game plan there, Cancer. And the nice thing too is like these energies get you thinking ahead now, so that you're not caught off guard when you're really, you know, if something happens to come up when you're in the storm. So, you know, it's not to get you fearful, it's to get you prepped, you know. But after we get all that preparation done there, Cancer, you can find out what your placements are at. You can come up to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there talking about the transits for the soul tribe, and it's more kind of a collective video. Then I do monthly ones when the sun moves into a new sign and how we can work with those energies. And then I do yearly ones, which is like a mock kind of solar return there through kind of tarot there. And all that housekeeping, Cancer, is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Ooh! It's like, that was a little much, Cancer. So I can get you out of here. But Cancer, you got the new moon card in reverse. And so I'm really going to, and this is a big, because Cancer, it is one thing when you have cards following you throughout like lunar cycles, but when we have majors that are following you throughout lunar cycles here, you know, that's a big deal. And especially new moon in Aries. And it's a new super moon. So this is the time, but with the new moon, I feel like in order to effectively really kind of plant some seeds there, Cancer, we have to look in the garden and see where you may want all of these things, but if your garden's overgrown, it's going to suffocate these dreams. We have to, it's just like with farming. There's time for sowing seeds, time for growing stuff, time for harvest, and then we have to look what's staying, what's going, what worked, what are we something like, ooh, like, okay, emotional growth really worked out through this time, but now I think I'm going to include some physical work with that as well, and tag that onto there. Or, now I'm going to incorporate some more journaling, or now I'm going to make more time for this, or now I'm going to take that class, or, and it's like, or now but in order to do that, I'm going to maybe need to rearrange my schedule at my job, or maybe I need to communicate this with my partner. How our schedule is going to coincide, or this, like but I do feel like this new moon here is wanting you to be strategic, wanting you to really make the most of these gifts. Thank you, higher self. Make the most of the gifts that you have. This is a time for just potential there, Cancer. But with your oracle card here, you have the Isle of Avalon card. And this is a card of healing, returning to wholeness, and transformation. And I feel, Cancer, in this, take care of your energies. It's not just about just like going. Sometimes we need to take some energies, or take some time and meditate, process this, rest, integrate these transformations that are coming through with this going on. Healing and transformation, growth, it's exhausting. And so make sure that you check in as you're going through this, Cancer. I feel like it's, again, very important. Stay really grounded. Try not to overwhelm yourself with all of these energies that are talking about. Everyone has like certain techniques and all these things. Do what resonates with you. Maybe you're writing out intentions. Some people have I'm listening to different podcasts. I'll talk about different things. I personally, I like when it comes to like new moon and full moon stuff. And actually one of them, my full moon ritual, I had something, but I liked how someone else was talking about it. But, with the new moon, I will print up the chart. I will focus on, what are the themes that are trying to focus on, what resonates with me, and what are some things that I want to think about going forward, how that's progressing through the year, through my life's journey, and just kind of write that stuff down on the back of that chart, and live in that moment, something that, brings up a lot of feelings. And then I put that under my pillow and I let those energies sit. And then when we get to that new moon energy, or excuse me, to the full moon of that, it's just like, it's a whole thing, Cancer. But I do feel like this returning to wholeness, I do feel like this is, Aries deals with that sense of self, who you are. And it's not thinking too hard about it. It's just like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? What are your instincts telling you? What is your intuition telling you? And then go for it. Granted, there is a calculated risk. We're in Mercury, I didn't talk about it too much, but we're in the Mercury retrograde now. We're in a time of reflection. This is a time of visualization, taking small steps towards this stuff. It's a marathon. It's not a race. And believe me, Cancer, I want things to move along fast too. But it's appreciating the journey and the growth process, as well as we transcend in this journey as a soul tribe. So I like this, Cancer, and I feel it's in Aries energy is a great leadership energy, but it's not being leaders over everyone else. It's being the leaders in our lives so that we inspire other leaders, to be in their gifts and to do their Capricorn energy, be in their path. So, all right, Cancer, but I think I'm going to leave that there. A little something to meditate on, but you stay safe out there. All these realizations that are going on there, all these transformations, reflections. This is a big week. This is a big week to be thinking about some stuff. And again, a big week, but don't overwhelm yourself. This is a big week to just be thinking about, where do you want to see yourself going next? Am I doing this exercise for my health? When thinking about what micro steps am I taking for the grand grand scheme of things there, Cancer. And I feel that that'll help you kind of keep you grounded in all of this. But stay safe out there. Keep eyes and feel the moon there, Cancer. Pay attention to how the moon is working with you. The moon is a great one to work with when it comes with manifestation and all these things, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.